Sometimes we receive these posters or announcements of protests. We don't have to jump into every protest. We need to see who is organizing this protest. Who are the organizers? And then what is their credibility? From where do they come? What is their background? And then we have to check with each other or those who have little bit more knowledge of that kind of thing, and then decide whether to go in that particular protest or not to go. We don't have to start saying bad things about them, but I have to make sure if I am going to a protest, I need to know who they are, from where do they come. It's not only enough that they have the flag of Palestine. So, this is another thing. So when people are asking you for funds, again, you don't have to give funds to everyone. In these days, so many irresponsible people come with no track record, sometimes people with bad records, sometimes people with, meaning they are just doing it things for ulterior motives, or they are corrupt. So, when it comes to donate, again, first have some research done, some background what due diligence is. Check with your attorney, check with your accountant, check with knowledgeable person whether it is safe to donate to this particular entity or to this particular what you call charitable organization or relief organization or whatever. So, in this day and age, there are so many people doing their own things in between, and we don't want to be in trouble later on. So, we must support, we must donate, but after checking their background, after checking sometimes some people, their expectations are that cancel everything and only full time just go and participate in the protests. You cannot do that. It never happened. Life continues and people have to do jobs, people have families, people have other commitments. Everyone is not retired, everyone is not semi-retired, everyone is not their own boss. Everyone doesn't have 24 hours for this. People have to take care of their duties, their responsibilities, their jobs, and so many other activities. And then this protest, sometime it is 12 o'clock and sometime it is 2 o'clock and sometime it is 5 o'clock. I understand, because they don't get permission for every time, every day, same place, same time. But the point is, it is something that we have to do our best. It's a duty. It's an obligation. But even duties and obligations have certain requirements that if you have time, if you are able, if you can participate, then yes, you should. But don't expect everyone, everywhere, every time. Certain programs like masajid, like centers, like schools, like other institutions, they have their duties, they have their responsibilities, they have their programs. So, sometimes our expectations, al-mar'u yaqisu ala nafsih, we start thinking that everybody is like me. Or sometimes I would like to see everybody at my level. Even hadith says never do that. Everyone is different, everyone's obligations are different, everyone's level of commitment is different. So, try to invite each other, try to remind each other, try to let each other advise, but again have understanding, and then based on that, inshallah, things will happen. So these were some of the things which I thought I should share with you, just because we don't know until when this will continue. Although now there is nothing left to bomb and there is nothing left to destroy, the whole city of Gaza or whatever, this has become just like a parking lot. There's nothing left. And this criminal man, since he had made certain what you call the statements, now he doesn't know what to do with that. So he's continuing it, and because nobody is stopping him and nobody can stop him because of, again, the pressures and the links. So we don't know how long it will continue. And we don't know even that, as I said earlier, it can increase and escalate and goes out of control. So be prepared for any situation. Anything can happen, and we need to just be aware, and we need to be cautious, and we need to be careful, and our response should be measured. Our response and our action should be legal, and it should be something that we can defend, and we can say that this was something, it was according to my rights and responsibilities. Recite salawat. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم والعصر إن الإنسان لفي خسر إلا الذين آمنوا وعملوا الصالحات وتواصوا بالحق وتواصوا بالصبر. اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد. اللهم صل على محمد. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله الذي لا إله إلا هو الحليم الكريم وغافر الذنب وقابل التوب وهو الغفور الرحيم إن الله وملائكته يصلون على النبي يا أيها الذين آمنوا صلوا عليه وسلموا تسليما. اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد. اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد. اللهم صل وسلم على سيدنا ونبينا ومولانا أبي القاسم محمد صل على وعلى أمير المؤمنين وإمام المتقين علي بن أبي طالب صل على محمد وعلى سيدة نساء العالمين فاطمة الزهراء صلى على محمد وعلى الحسن والحسين سيدي شباب أهل الجنة صلى على محمد وعلى علي بن الحسين ومحمد بن علي وجعفر بن محمد وموسى بن جعفر وعلي بن موسى ومحمد بن علي وعلي بن محمد والحسن بن علي. اللهم صل على مولانا صاحب العصر والزمان صل على محمد وعلى آبائه الكرام واتصل الليالي والأيام. أما بعد فقد قال الله تبارك وتعالى توبوا إلى الله توبة نصوحا وعسى ربكم أن يكفر عن سيئاتكم ويدخلكم جنات تجري من تحتها الأنهار. صلوات. صل على محمد. Dear brothers and sisters, in this second khutbah of Jum'ah, again I advise myself for taqwa, parhizgari and piety, and then I advise all of you for the same. Very brief reminder. As we talk with our fellow Americans and we tell them that it didn't start on October 7th, and we give them the whole background and we tell them it's not something which the resistance has started on October 7th by an attack. Actually it started, and then we go back to 16, 17 or 18 years of siege and blockage, or we go back all the way to 1948 or even before that. I think it is good to remind to ourselves also that it didn't start on October 7th, and ask this question from ourselves, where we have been before this October 7th. So when we tell Americans, when we tell American officials and American media, and we tell our other neighbors and colleagues that it didn't start by October 7th, and we go all the way, the blockage and that brutality and this humiliation and this inhumane kind of treatment of Palestinians by these Israeli forces in last 20 years, 30 years, 40, 50 years, we tell them. So do we tell ourselves also that this all was going on, and we are now just when we have realized today? Did we receive this telegram today? Where we have been? And I remember that on this last Friday of month of Ramadan, which is declared by Marhum Imam Khomeini Ridwanullah Ta'ala alayh as the day of Quds and the day for the protest. How many of us who are going now in these protests that we bothered to go in that protest on the last Friday of the month of Ramadan? How many of us? Including myself. Sometime I went and sometime I missed. And how many of us we really bothered to know that what's going on with these oppressed people over there? We were all busy in our life and nobody cared about them. It's not only that the American and European governments and authorities didn't care about them, we also never cared about them. All of a sudden now, today, when situation has got, meaning very, very bad, now we are reacting to the situation. So my point is that we as a community are people who only react to emergencies. We are not proactives. We do only firefighting. And then we ask Allah that since now there is a fire and we didn't do anything, now you send the rain, and heavy rain, right now, because there is a fire at our home and we have not done anything which we were supposed to do. So no, my Lord, no, you send the heavy rain. Allah never sends rain. He says, I had given you aql, I had given you resources. Why didn't you make the arrangements for this day? So the point is, we only react. My fear again, where I'm heading to is that we are all right now begging for a ceasefire. Ceasefire, 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 and when there will be ceasefire and then within week or 2 week or 3 week, again we will be at McDonald's, we will be at Starbucks, we will be again going back to the same stores which now we are trying to boycott. We will forget them as we have forgotten them from 1948, and we will be again it will become business as usual. And when these things happen, these tragedies and these situations, then we expect from the media and from these Western governments and Western organizations and from Western people to come and stop and condemn and do everything, because they are champions of humanity and champions of human rights, and they have the power and they have the resources, and they should now go and do all this in our interest. But my question is, when things happen in this world, not with Muslims, with non-Muslims, how many times we stand up and show the same kind of reaction as now millions of these non-Muslims are coming in streets? We are still afraid. We are still trying to kind of be careful, say this and don't say this, and go here and don't go there. And we are scared to death from getting arrested. And there are so many arrests in this country, and in Canada, and in Europe. And these are the people who are non-Muslims. And they are getting arrested and they are going to jails. And they come for the demonstrations and they are coming with us. How many times we bother to go with them? We have no interest in this world, my brothers and sisters, other than just printing money. All my time is only for printing money or staying away from the trouble. My civic duties, my civil duties, my social duties, my communal duties, my human duties, my moral duties, we have delegated the whole thing to others. I am busy man, I have business, I am doing 2 jobs, I am running so many businesses, I have large family, I have this, I have that, I have no time. Very easy excuse. And then when something wrong happens to us, then we are crying and beg and we ask the whole world should come and stand with us and speak for us. शर्म भी होती है कोई थोड़ी बहुत, हया भी होती है. We should be ashamed for that kind of behavior, that we have no fear for anyone else. When things happen to others, do we shed tears? Do we go and hold their tabut and give our shoulder to their tabut and their coffin, that we want them to now come and shoulder our tabut? So that is where, my brothers and sisters, we are very weak. We don't have to be very selective when it comes to condemn the oppression or oppressor. When Imam Ali says, Kuna lil-zalimi khasman wa lil-mazlumi auna, he used the word zalim and mazlum without any condition whether that zalim or is a kafir or Muslim, or this mazlum is kafir or Muslim. Shia or Sunni, Arab or Ajam, black or white, Muslim or non-Muslim, Imam Ali is not concerned about that. Imam Ali is concerned about this madloom and about that person that who is zalim. So, what I am asking here and requesting, we should think about, as they are talking about day after. This boycott should not stop. It's not only haram today and it will become halal tomorrow. We should keep that in mind. Our concern about these Mazloom people should not just go away after ceasefire. We should remain concerned and keep our eyes there and see what happens with them and what is going to happen later on. And my brothers and sisters, the blood of Palestinian is not more red than the blood of a Muslim who lives in Kashmir. But all of us, when the brutality of Indian regime against Kashmiri Muslims is most of the time more than what Israelis do against these Palestinians. The life of Kashmiris normally has been more difficult. And around the year they go through this. But Arabs will have no tawfiq. Even Islamic Republic of Iran, which is champion of Palestine, but when it comes to India, will be kind of what you call the mimic the words, will not be as loud as they are for Palestine. And that's our criticism, and that is what we always, meaning it's not only in BaitulIlm, but even when I'm Iran and I'm talking to those leaders, I even say in front of them. And I say, if you have strategic reasons, then give this permission to other nations also to act according to their strategic plans. Your strategy and strategic relations are more important, and other nations, they don't have. Every nation has their own strategic interests. So be fair. And have equal, just zalim and mazloom, whether it is Israel, whether it is India, whether it is Russia. We cannot stand with Russian aggression. We cannot stand with the Indian aggression. And we cannot stand with Israeli aggression. So these are things which are very important, my brothers and sisters. We should not forget Mazloom. We should not abandon them later, and we should not expect everything from others. We need to also get involved. We need to get involved with advocacy. We need to get involved with the civil rights, with the civic rights. There are so many initiatives in this country. Black Lives Matter, Anti-War Alliance, and there are so many other good alliances who are right now helping us and standing with us. But then, when our issue is done, we will be back to our basements, because we are very busy people and we have no time for others. So the point which I am trying to make, I think there is no misunderstanding on that. Time has come where we have to find some time, spare some time for activism, for getting involved with these different initiatives, different movements. We need to make some space in this society for ourselves. We need to claim our place. We need to build some alliances. We need to invest some time and some money and some funds Otherwise, my brothers and sisters, we will be always totally begging others to cry for us and come and give shoulder to our tabut and go and fight for us and go and raise and make noise for us, because we people have no voice, we have no influence, we have no connections, we have no foundations, we have no initiatives. We are totally on mercy of others, whether those others are Sunnis. Every time anything happens, go to care. When it comes to give funds, oh, care is Sunni, Wahhabi. I'm not going to give my funds to care. But then something happens wrong to me, call care. That's hypocrisy. Sharm aani chahiye. So these are just some of the things I thought that I should share with you. I know that I took your more time, but in these times, these reminders are very important. Recite a salawat. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم إن الله يأمر بالعدل والإحسان وإيتاء ذي القربى وينهى عن الفحشاء والمنكر والبغي يعظكم لعلكم تذكرون. الله أكبر الله أكبر أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله